How welcome to my review of Hail Caesar, directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, a comedy set in the early 1950s Hollywood that centers on Eddie Mannix, a fixer for Capitol Pictures, as he investigates the abduction of one of Capitol's biggest stars by a coalition known as the Future. Like most film enthusiasts, I am a huge Coen Brothers fan. One of my all-time favorite films is No Country for Old Men, which would easily be my top 10, if not my top 5. And one of my other favorite films is Inside Llewyn Davis, which I love so much I went out and bought the Criterion version of the film. And if you're somebody who has not seen Inside Llewyn Davis yet, then I really do implore you to, because it is a masterpiece. Now, the Coens are known for being pretty diverse. They do comedies, black comedies, dramas, thrillers, and sometimes they mix all those together and you end up with something like Fargo. In Hail Caesar's case, it is more of a straightforward comedy, something in the realm of The Big Lebowski, or Oh Brother Where Art Thou, or, most notably, Burn After Reading. And honestly, I think Burn After Reading is one of the Coen Brothers' weaker films. Good news is that I think Hail Caesar is a much better film, a much funnier film than Burn After Reading. And keep in mind that this is coming from a person who's into more of the Coens' drier films, such as, again, Inside Llewyn Davis, or A Serious Man. As far as straightforward comedies go, Hail Caesar is one of the funniest films I've seen in quite some time. However, and this is a warning, it's not for everybody. Either you like the Coen Brothers humor, or you don't. I do. With the exclusion of the Josh Brolin character Eddie Mannix, Hail Caesar is pretty much comprised of caricatures, and I can totally see why that would wear thin for some people, because it's kind of like with me with The Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino. The Hateful Eight and Hail Caesar are both essentially live-action cartoons. However, the difference between the two of them is that I thought The Hateful Eight was unfunny, crass, and obnoxious in the way it portrayed its characters, while Hail Caesar I thought was the exact opposite. Hail Caesar's characters, or caricatures, are funny, they're likable, and there's even a bit of endearment in the way that they were made up. For instance, you have the Alden Ehrenreich character who plays this actor who's known for being in these westerns and has this incredibly elaborate hick accent, the character himself, and now is transitioning into doing dramas. And having him go through this transition makes for some excellent material and is absolutely hilarious to watch unfold. And yes, he is a caricature with little dimension, but he's a very likable caricature with little dimension, and the way he's presented in the film, again, I thought was endearing and not offensive and not obnoxious. He's an idiot, but he's a very lovable idiot, and every time he appeared on screen, he had me cracking up. Now, this is to be expected because this is a Coen Brothers film, but all of the performances in this film are fantastic, even the minor ones. But as far as any standouts for me, Josh Brolin, of course, great at playing the straight man. Then you have George Clooney, who's really kind of hamming it up, giving a really great comedic performance. And then you have Scarlett Johansson, who really impressed me, giving a performance that was probably one of her best performances that I've seen her give. Now, one thing that I need to note about Hail Caesar is that the film is pretty much made up of skits or set pieces that pay homage to classic Hollywood. So in other words, you do have the central plotline with the Josh Brolin character who's trying to solve the abduction of the George Clooney character. However, you have these other characters who intertwine with the Josh Brolin character, and they have their own skits in the film, as I've already stated. You have the Western skit, you have the synchronized swimming skit, which I have to say was kind of trippy, you have the art film skit, and you have the musical number, which is inspired by Gene Kelly. And here's the thing about those skits. They are great, especially that musical number, and this is coming from a person who cannot stand musical numbers at all. I hate them, I despise them, I find them to be incredibly cringeworthy. Not here. The Coen Brothers did a fantastic job, and so did Channing Tatum, given that Gene Kelly-inspired performance. So for people who enjoy classic Hollywood, you're going to love this thing because you're going to get all the little references. Even for somebody like me who might not be all that familiar with classic Hollywood, there's still much to enjoy because, hell, it's a funny film, and it's just fun to watch. However, even with all the great praise that I've been giving these segments, they don't really seem to fit into the film all too seamlessly. They do feel disjointed. It's not something that ruins the film, but it is something that is incredibly noticeable. My second problem with the film is that it lacks resolution. In other words, when I got to the end of the film and the credits started to roll, I was actually confused and sort of in denial that it was over, because I was like, wow, it's over, but what about this and what about that and what was the point of this? Yeah. But to be fair, it almost seems like the ending itself is meant to be taken as a joke, which does seem like a Coen Brother thing to do, but then again, I don't know. I'm kind of lost on this one. As for any parting statements, Roger Deakins reunites with the Coen Brothers once again to do the cinematography, and is gorgeous as you could only expect from Roger Deakins. I also enjoyed Hail Caesar's commentary on the movie industry, as well as using art as effective pieces of propaganda. I thought that was pretty nice. Overall, even though Hail Caesar might not be as great as something in the realm of Inside Llewyn Davis, A Serious Man, The Big Lebowski, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, or some of the other comedic works that the Coen brothers have done in the past, I still think it's a great film, and I think it is worth your time. I had quite a bit of fun with Hail Caesar, so I'm going to give it a low 4 out of 5. If you've seen Hail Caesar, then do let me know your thoughts on it, or if you're somebody who has a favorite Coen Brothers film, let me know what that one is. As I've stated earlier, mine would be No Country for Old Men, with Inside Llewyn Davis coming in at second, and that's pretty much it. As always, I'm Colin Kirkland, and thank you so much for watching.